All right, let's get straight to it. You need to pass the AWS Cloud Practitioner exam, and you need to do it fast. We're talking 1 week, so let's break down the exact strategy to make that happen.
I know what you're probably thinking. A whole cloud certification in just 7 days? That sounds pretty intense, right? Maybe even a little bit impossible. But what if I told you there's a proven blueprint to do exactly that?
Look, it is absolutely possible. The key is you just can't study everything. You've got to be strategic. You need a blueprint that tells you exactly what to focus on and, just as important, what you can totally ignore. And that's the blueprint we're going to break down right now.
Okay, so let's dive in. The real secret to passing this thing quickly isn't some random cheat sheet you find online. Nope, it's actually hiding in plain sight right inside the official AWS exam guide. AWS literally tells you how to pass their own test.
So, the first thing you need to get your head around is that the exam is not balanced at all. I mean, just look at these official numbers. Cloud technology and services, that's a massive 34%. Right behind it, you've got security and compliance at 30%, then cloud concepts at 24%, and all the way at the bottom, billing, pricing, and support is just 12% of your score.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Add those top 2 domains together, and what do you get? 64%. That's right, almost 2/3 of your entire exam score comes from just 2 topics. See, this isn't about knowing a little bit about everything. It's about knowing a ton about the things that really matter.
So how many points do you actually need to get? Well, the exam is scored on a scale from 100 to 1,000, and the magic number you need to hit is 700. Your goal here isn't perfection, it's just about passing. It's a pass or fail exam, and 700 is our target.
And this is how you get there way faster. The official guide tells you flat out what's out of scope. This means you can, and you absolutely should, completely ignore stuff like deep troubleshooting, any kind of coding, complex architecture design, or performance testing. Just cutting that out frees up a huge amount of your study time.
So how do we turn all this info into a laser-focused study plan? Well, it's all about applying the good old 80-20 rule. We're going to focus our effort on that 20% of topics that will get us 80% of our results on the exam.
And what does that look like in the real world? It's simple. You're going to spend the vast majority of your week, I'm talking 64% of your focus, on technology and security. Yeah, those other 2 domains, cloud concepts and billing, they're important, but they're just over 1/3 of the exam. The fastest path to that passing score runs directly through these 2 big areas.
Okay, so now that we know where to hunt, where are the guaranteed points? Let's talk about the absolute must-know topics, the stuff that's almost certain to show up. These are going to be the easiest points you get on the whole exam.
First up, the AWS Shared Responsibility Model. You have got to know this. The simplest way to remember it is like this. AWS is responsible for the security of the cloud. Think of that as their physical buildings, the servers, the network cables. You, as the customer, are responsible for security in the cloud. That's your data, your apps, and how you set up your passwords and permissions.
Next, let's do a rapid-fire round of the 3 core services you absolutely positively must know. And trust me, for this exam, a simple 1-line definition is all you need. First, EC2. When you see EC2, your brain should immediately think one thing: virtual servers. That's it. It's just about renting a computer in the cloud.
Next up, S3. S3 is all about object storage. Just think of it like a giant, nearly infinite flash drive on the internet. It's where you toss your files, your images, your backups. If a question asks where to store a file, S3 is almost always the answer. And finally, we have RDS, the Relational Database Service. If you need a classic database, like a SQL database, but you don't want to deal with the hassle of managing the actual server, well, that's what RDS is for. Knowing those 3, EC2 for servers, S3 for files, and RDS for databases, will let you instantly knock out wrong answers on so many questions.
All right, knowing the material is half the battle. The other half is knowing how to actually take the test without falling for the common traps they set to trip you up and make you lose easy points.
So the number 1 trap is what AWS calls plausible distractors. These are basically wrong answers that are designed to sound correct if you're not totally sure. For example, a question might ask about a database, but list a storage service as one of the options. The way you beat this? You stick to that 1-line core function we just covered. If you know RDS is for databases and S3 is for files, you can spot the fake answer right away.
Now, here is a fantastic insider tip, and this comes straight from the exam guide. Your exam has 65 questions, right? Well, get this. 15 of those questions are unscored. They don't affect your grade at all. The catch is, you don't know which 15 they are.
So if you hit some crazy difficult question about a service you've never even heard of, don't panic. There's no penalty for guessing. Just pick your best answer and move on. Don't waste your precious time on a question that might not even count.
Okay, we've cracked the blueprint, we know the high-value topics, and we know the traps to watch out for. So let's put it all together into your final, actionable battle plan for the next 7 days.
Here it is, your 4-step plan to pass. Step 1. Spend about 2/3 of your study time on those 2 big domains, security and technology. Step 2. For the most common services, just memorize that one-line function. Step 3. Make sure you master the big deal concepts that are guaranteed to be on there, like the shared responsibility model. And finally, Step 4. Use practice exams, not just to learn, but to train yourself to spot those tricky distractors and to manage your time.
And please remember this. The goal for this week is not to become the world's greatest AWS expert. The goal is to get a score of 700 or higher. You don't need to know everything, you just need to know enough to pass. And that's the blueprint. It's direct, it's efficient, and it's all based on what AWS itself has told us. Focus on what matters, ignore what doesn't, and you have absolutely got this. Now, go get certified.